From Case 44, Busha's Staff. Mumon's verse says, "With this staff in my hand, I can measure the depths and shallows everywhere. The staff supports the heavens and makes firm the earth. Wherever it goes, the true teaching is spread." One of the things I'm reminded of with this is the question of freedom and responsibility. The staff supports us. The staff makes firm the earth, it says. Wherever it goes, the true teaching is spread. That staff, to me, represents the impenetrable solidity of our ethic, of our morality. And that seems to me is based in two things: freedom and responsibility. So with freedom, we have responsibility. That sounds kind of, sounds like it makes sense. But many of us go through our lives only yearning for freedom and forgetting that freedom comes with responsibility. So I'm here to remind myself, in fact, that freedom requires responsibility, that without it, there is no such thing. Responsibility contains freedom, in effect. We can't just go willy-nilly through the world doing whatever we please, can we? Well, some of us think we can. Some of us think we're entitled to. But I think that would be a mistake, a big mistake. So, freedom, what is it? Is it the act of just doing what we want to do, when we want to do it? Or what? Maybe I'm not making any sense here. I don't know, I'm doing this calligraphy thing here, making the kanji for freedom and responsibility. And I'm wondering what it all means. To me, as an old man, I know that some things just aren't free. That there's a price to be paid for that freedom, or to enable that freedom to continue. Some of us think, I guess, that freedom is just always there, always present, because we've never been without it. Yet, I've been in cultures where freedom is not something that people take for granted. Freedom is cherished. It's rare, in fact. I know I returned to Vietnam in 1986, I think it was, after the war. And when we arrived in Hanoi on the plane, they surrounded the plane with armed soldiers with AK-47s. They took our passports away from us and turned us over to a tour guide who was really a communist minder. And that feeling of having your passport taken away and living in a culture where you're surrounded by people with guns, it reminded me of how fragile, in some respects, our freedom is here in the United States. Now, it seems to me that as we're moving through this age, our fear of terrorism has offered us choices. Should we be safe or should we be free? And the cost of safety is a loss of freedoms, an erosion of our freedoms, and it's gradual, and we don't often pay attention to that fact. If I have to take off my shoes at an airport, or if I'm driving along the road here in New Mexico and I come across a border checkpoint, I'm asked, am I a citizen? I don't have a choice to stop. I'm directed to stop. I'm directed to answer a question. I have not done anything wrong. I'm not suspect of, well, maybe I am suspect. But in any event, I have to answer a question. Well, I don't. I could refuse to answer, but if I refuse to answer, you know what happens? I get detained. And the border guys have the authorization to detain me as long as they like, pretty much. Now, do I have a responsibility to answer the question? I don't know. I don't know. But I do, because I don't want to be detained and I want to go along my way. The point is, though, that for our safety, we are asked to answer questions that we wouldn't ordinarily have to answer. We have to stop where we don't ordinarily have to stop. I think that's a big mistake. It's a slippery slope, seems to me. Our responsibility is not only to our safety as a nation, but also our freedom as a nation. We are a free people here in the United States, and that freedom is, as I say, precious and precarious. So, anyway, just a thought for the morning. Take care and be well.